money fast on this side. I think I'm Big Meech.
What up, welcome back to the channel. I'm J and we are locked in. We got the first photos for episode 8 coming up this week, so it's going to allow us to piece together some of our predictions and theories that we've been coming up with all week. And you know, over here on this channel, we're about 88% success rate, something around those numbers. But with these photos, it's looking like a lot of things that we've been talking about might come true. Now, before we jump into this and break down these photos, if you like BMF content, live after show discussions, breakdowns, theories, and predictions like this, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button and follow me on Instagram right here. But I'm not gonna hold you up. We're gonna jump into these photos because you know BMF Fridays is right around the corner and we need more time to process everything that they're throwing at us. So let's jump into it. This is the exclusive photos for episode 8 of BMF. The first person we see is Detective Brian. Now it looks like he's out in the streets asking people have they seen something, maybe something of this nature, just for the simple fact that his end goal is always to capture Meech, whether that's harassing B Mickey all the time, stealing bricks from work, going behind people's backs. That's the end goal. Now, we know he's not going to give up. He even gave up pursuing Lamar just to make sure that he can get Meech. So what these people in the streets got to understand is Detective Brian, yeah, he's here to serve and protect, but last week he was at Saki's funeral putting a cigarette out and I didn't even get me a drink. So I don't think people inside of Detroit are actually going to give to the police any information just because they don't want no issues with anybody in the streets. We're going to stick with Detective Brian and Veronica right now because this does look like Wanda is down here. How did they get in touch with Wanda? They had a stakeout. They got pictures of Terry, Markeisha together doing the wild thing. Well, at least Terry was doing something and they gave those pictures to Wanda. Now, do I believe that Wanda's going to give up some information? Something in me is telling me yes, she is. I don't want her to, but you got to remember, Detective Bryant showed up to her house with photos. She even confronted Terry with these photos, told her 48 hours or I'm pinning you as an accessory to everything that's going on. Now, when you hear that and you got a kid at home, it's going to make you make some decisions. Now, she said she wasn't going to cover for Terry anymore. So does that mean that she's going down to the precinct to tell Detective Bryant, hey, look, I have information about Terry. I know they be moving product. Or is she just going to go down here and say she doesn't know anything? From what it looks like, she might be giving up the information. And after her and her mama were stealing from Terry, it kind of makes you question her. It looks like we're going to see Agent Chambers again. Now, we did see her being thrown into the episode 1 of season 2, where they were arresting Terry in St. Louis. So this might be where the feds are actually cooperating with the state police, Detective Bryant, and starting to build a case because this is the drug enforcement agency. So, you know, they're dealing drugs, people. So this will make a good connection. Now, this does look like the police commissioner, and he's probably saying, hey, listen, Agent Chambers, they have an investigation going on, maybe with just the drugs in Detroit. And now this could actually help out Detective Bryant. If I bring in the feds to help me bring Meech and them down, then I can easily get them off the streets. Because one thing about the feds, they have more funds readily available to use. The state, you just got to go off of, hey, we got what we got right now. And that's why you see Detective Bryant doing what he's doing. Now, the feds, they might be a little more organized and a little more legit, but we can't put nothing past them. But Agent Chambers, from what we seen, she wasn't playing around when they arrested Terry. So she might be good for the show. And this might actually make Meech hustle a little harder. With all of the police business behind us, we can finally talk about our boys, Meech and Terry. They're in the game now. We in Detroit, we got 300 bricks, and it looks like this is just another formal meeting between Meech and Terry. We know Terry, he loves his brother, Meech loves Terry. And we also know when Terry helped him out by coming to Cleveland with the work, Meech was like, F you. And he was like, that's just a way of Meech saying I love you. So whenever Meech is yelling at Terry, from what we've seen, it was just out of love, but he wants Terry to do better. Now, this could mean this is talking about the Terry and Markeisha situation. Terry already brought it up that he owed Boom money. Meech said that is your problem. Now, we know Markeisha, she called him up last week and was like, pick me up. So maybe this has something to do with Boom and all the business they got going on. Make sure they got to get that straight because you remember, Meech is a boss now. K9 has to cop from Meech. if Boom wants any work, he has to cop from Meech now. Meech is the middleman between the Colombians and the streets. So he's probably telling Terry, you got to get your stuff together, brother. If we're going to be doing this, we need to do it right or we can't do it at all. If having Meech on your case, your baby mama down at the police precinct, allegedly, and now you're dealing with Marquisha again, Terry has a lot on his plate. We just heard everything that was going on with his baby mom. We know that Meech might potentially be on him, telling him we got to move a little bit differently since we got this work. And Marquisha's back in his life after breaking up with him for the second time. Well, it's not really breaking up, but it's breaking the young man's heart. Or should I say boy, because he's 17 years old. It's breaking the boy's heart, but you keep pulling them back in, even though you have this whole situation with Boom going on because you wanted to be financially stable. Now, this could be good, this could be bad. Now, I did say they could use Marquisha later on because her Spanish is a little bit better than Terry's. So having her in the organization, that could work. But Marquisha could be the one to end up driving the brothers apart because Meech is telling them, leave her alone, let's get focused. Plus, they trying to head out to Atlanta and expand the business. We know little Tina's out there. So Marquisha and Terry, it looks like it's going to probably get serious moving forward. The only thing is the issue that I mentioned when it came to the work. How are they going to deal with Boom moving forward? And is Marquisha going to finally leave him to be with young Terry, or is she going to keep leading him on? I'm thinking she's eventually going to lead him on, but be with him. So there still might be a little leading on, but they're going to end up together, in my opinion. Now, it wouldn't be no BMF and we ain't have on the all white. So you see Hoop is here. Now, there's been rumors about Hoop. Maybe Hoop is messing with the product. I already had an issue with Hoop because of the Dink situation. Dink is copying from you, but you let them get to Terry and you're supposed to be loyal. We'll talk about that. So everybody, go ahead, write it down. We're going to keep our eyes on Hoop moving forward. I don't know if he can be trustworthy or not. We already got B Mickey that we already put a big X over. Even though Meech said that he came clean, we still don't know if we can trust him or not. So Dink is out of the picture. Cousin in Cleveland is out of the picture. Hoop, he's right there on the border. He's on the fence like the last episode. The only person that looks like we can really depend on is Roland outside of Meech and Terry. But it looks like this is more bad news from Hoop. And of course, Meech is not dealing with bad news. He doesn't like bad news. Only good news. We're getting money now. 300 bricks. We can't afford to make mistakes. So I think Meech is going to get everything straight, and Hoop might potentially get exposed. And we talked about all of that, but we didn't mention the demon. Well, we know that Monique, shout out to Cash Doll, she reposted the story today, but we know that Monique, she has a plan. That's to butter up Lamar, bring him back in her life, make him believe that it's going to be a couple, make them believe that it's going to be a family. And then her and Meech, they do what they got to do to get him up out of here. Now, I know some people have been saying maybe Lamar is noticing what's going on because Lamar ain't that dumb. But she said you have to come at Lamar off some regular stuff. It can't be street knowledge. It can't be streetwise. You got to come at him as a regular citizen of Detroit. So she has the gun, and it looks like we're going to put that. I'm not going to say we're going to put the gun to use this episode. I'm going to say we're going to put it to use, but maybe in an episode or two. But right now, I think this is just the ultimate setup. This is going to give Meech a chance to see, oh, Lamar is in a vulnerable state. Because we got to handle Lamar. We got to handle Lamar. If we're going to go to Atlanta, we can't have him in the city, at least still beefing with us, while our family is there and we're down in Atlanta. All right, there you go. The exclusive photos for episode 8. Let me know what you think is going to happen moving forward. And do you think that that was Wanda down there telling the police information about our boys? Let me know what you think. I'm Mo.J. If you like BMF content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.